Hey, Tiny T here today. I want to kind of show you the results of the spray for the silkworms on my trees. Like I said before, this one that I got doesn't seem to do too much against them. I'd sprayed and didn't have any luck with it. This one I was good at getting, and I found some here at home when I bought this other stuff. I'm not sure if that works or not. According to Home Depot, or I guess it was Lowe's I was at, according to them, it didn't work. They didn't recommend it for the silkworms, so don't know, maybe it works with direct contact, I'm not sure, but with a spray bottle on here, maybe get them with a hose, it might do alright. But anyway, I'd sprayed them with that, and the very next day when I went out, it looked like couldn't quite tell, it looked like some had died maybe, but it wasn't like immediate. And then this one, I had sprayed with this one on both trees in the front yard and in the backyard. I sprayed on a pecan tree in the front yard and on a mulberry in the backyard, and both those, the pecan especially, been heavily hit, and they're really getting sprayed on the mulberry. I sprayed both of them first with this one day, and when I come back, it looked like that on both of them that they're still living. It's supposed to work for 30 days, and so that's when I went out, and on the front one I sprayed this 7 on them. And the next day when I went out, they were dead on the pecan. I sprayed this on the pecan tree also. When I went out the next day, the third day I guess it looked like they're all dying on that pecan tree, but when I went out back, they were all dying also. So this one, it seemed like it did the trick, and this is the one they recommended. So if you're having trouble with silkworms, this is the one I think really did the trick. Not sure if this did or not. I didn't really have a control for. I used just the 7 myself on it, but according to them, they've had the best luck with this. And I guess because this is what I'd picked up, and I said, nah, they wouldn't recommend that for the silkworms. So evidently other people had tried it, and it didn't work. So while I had sprayed it on another tree, I had also sprayed it first with this, and since the worms died at about the same time on both trees that didn't have the 7 on them, I'm kind of thinking this is what kicked in and started working. But let me go show you the trees, and you see the results of it, and then we can show you how they did. Okay, this is the pecan tree. As you can see, a lot of leaves were eaten off of it by those silkworms. But if you look around the ground, there's all kinds of these web stuff that have fallen to the ground. You see all them worms on them now are not moving, and they're dead. And so it looks like I've gotten rid of them on this tree. I sprayed the whole tree as much as I could and as high as I could on this tree, and it seemed to do the trick. I don't see any living right now on it. I'm going around to check. Everything on here seems like they are dead, and I suspect that stuff, when it lasts for 30 days, it probably lasts that long. If they eat something else, and anything that was living would kill them also. So as you can see, there's nothing moving on these. Even up here, that looks like a little better web, there's nothing living on that. So it looks like they're all pretty much dead on this. Well, not pretty much, but all dead. So I sprayed the ground around on the grass. I'd seen some walking around on my lawn here close to the tree, and so I sprayed around in the area there to make sure if there was any down there, that'd kill them also. When you're hooked to the hose, it sprays and goes across pretty much everything that's underneath it, dripping down, so it kind of worked out there. But anyway, that's the pecan tree. And this is the one I sprayed with that one I said worked first, and the next day when I still saw worms living on it, with that hand sprayer, I could spray all these down below, and I tried spraying some of this stuff up above, but the very top there, I couldn't reach them with that little spray bottle, so I know I didn't hit all those, and they died all at the same time. So to me, it's that one in the blue bottle. This is the one that worked and did the trick on it. So let me go show you the mulberry, which only had that one. It was starting to get in the same shape as this tree, and I hit it with that stuff and didn't put anything else on it, and those worms died at about the same time as these. Well, died at the same time these did. I got it next day, and I think it was on the second day or third day, they were all dead on there. Just to make sure, because I ain't always clear on what I'm talking about, this Bayer Advance, that's the one that worked. From what I can tell, that's the one that did the trick, and it's a certain one. They have different ones there, but this is the one that worked for the silkworms. So if you're going to get something, if you have trouble with silkworms, get this one. If you don't mind using chemicals, if you're not doing some kind of natural type stuff with it, this is an insecticide. So if you don't want to use insecticides, certainly don't use this. But I had such an infestation, I want to make sure I got something that did work on them. So this here is expensive. Compared to the other ones, it's more than twice as much, but as long as it does the trick, I don't mind that. So anyway, this is one I'd recommend. Okay, here's the mulberry tree, and as you can see, this one only had the Bayer Advance, the one in the blue bottle, that insecticide for the silkworms. As you can see, nothing living on this one either. And this was hit at the exact same time as the first one, only I didn't hit it with anything else other than the Bayer Advance. Well, I tried that first stuff, that didn't work, that fruit spray, and that didn't do anything. I tried that a couple different times, and no luck at all on it. That doing anything on either tree, so I switched to something else. I had to try something else, and I went to the Bayer Advance, and like I say, it didn't kill them right away, but it took the second day they started dying. I could tell the difference then. By the third day, nothing was living on them. I didn't videotape this yesterday, but today's the fourth day, and you can see nothing else crawling around on it, nothing else hatching out or doing anything. Do you see I have a berry down here? One of the few left. I won't be eating any of these since I sprayed it with insecticide. I had several berries on it just prior to the silkworm infestation. I had just a few, but when I started spraying with insecticide, that stuff drips down. I don't want to get it into anything I eat, so hopefully I'll spray around on the ground and stuff early in the season next year. I think they come up from the ground and get onto the trees and start that way, so that's what I've heard anyway. So I'll probably treat the ground with it. If I can find a natural, something that works natural against silkworms, I prefer to use that, but I ain't against using the pesticide if necessary. So, you know, it's there. You know, it's better if I can get something else that's natural, but I do have some neem oil, but that stuff doesn't work quite as quickly as the insecticide, and these trees are in pretty bad shape. Them silkworms, within a matter of 3 or 4 days, had spread that quick on some of those trees. And you know, with me spraying stuff, it didn't seem to make a difference with that first spray. And like I say, until I got the blue one and the Bayer Advance, that seemed to work really well against silkworms, and probably works well against some other things. I'm not sure if this is what I need it for. So anyway, hope you all have a good day. Tiny T signing out.